this 65-minute version. And before asking about the censorship problem about the film, I would like to know about your origins of making this film. At the beginning, when you were making this film, what are your ideas and what do you want to convey with this film?
Yeah. Thank you for coming. Actually, I made this film 27 years ago in Iran. We had different period of censorship in Iran. On that moment, we should show the film before sending to the Iranian Film Festival to Committee of Censorship. Before showing this film in festival, they cut out 25 minutes of the film. Then I didn't agree to show that film because 1/4 of the film was disappeared. Then when film went to the festival, it was big queue around the cinema, few days and night. And the head of police had forced to push festival to show several times to reduce people from the queue in the street. Then when festival finished, again they cut out 12 minutes more to let me to show film in cinema. Then they made decision to block the film forever. Film went to the Iranian parliament. It was big issue. Then the main supreme leader watched the film, and I was not successful to release the film for 27 years till now. Okay, in this film, I concentrate on Iranian revolution, actually 3 eras. The few years before revolution, in the time of revolution, and few years after revolution. What changed in Iran, what didn't change? How much culture changed, how much power changed, what was wrong, again what was wrong, something continue after revolution. We had a big revolution against dictatorship. At the beginning of the revolution, let's say 2 years, everything was okay. We had different party, people could talk and had a conversation inside of the street easily about politics. Then little by little, we lost our freedom. And people accept that, not because they didn't know, not because they didn't have information, because they had big experience of revolution and freedom, but because of escape. So this film tried to break that escape. I tried to break taboos. Many concept was taboo that I broke in this film. For example, talking about love, talking about female freedom in front of manpower, or the way that system killed opposition by car accident. We had a lot in Iran, still we have. So I try to show those things in this film. Especially I try to criticize Iranian people. Let me share with you one of the real story which happened to me. I was 17 years old when police shoot me, but Iranian people were arrested me and gave me to the police. 4 years later, exactly in the same square, Iranian people did revolution like me. My problem was I was 4 years before them. Then 4 years later, with the same sentence, they came to the street in the same square which I was being arrested. And then we had big revolution. Few years later, I was passing with my motorcycle. I saw one young motorcyclist is dying beside of the street. No one is helping him. I asked myself, what happened to this country? 4 years before revolution, they arrest revolutionary. In the time of revolution, they become revolutionary. Few years later, they don't care about each other again. what is happening over and over, what changes in us, what doesn't change. So I made this film to put light on those questions. So, you know, always power stands on the shoulder of ignorance people, on the shoulder of scary people. When you criticize people, it means the power could shake. That's why they reject this film. Nowadays, all of my films are banned in Iran. But on that moment, some of them were released. But this one was not released during 27 past years. Last year, by help of my friend, finally we could stolen the film from the archive and we brought it to the UK. We work on that and we send it to the Venice Film Festival. Was screening as an opening film of classic film. For me, it means censorship is not forever. They told this film banned forever. I understood forever, it means 27 years, not more. That the censor cannot be forever. None of the power in the world cannot be forever. Everything has limited of time, and it is sort of hope. We could have hope for the future. Censorship doesn't relate it only to my country. Many countries still has censorship. You know, for example, Turkey nowadays, you see what is happening in Turkey. Suddenly, thousand journalists go to the jail, sometimes for nothing. It is the matter of power. Censorship is tools for politicians, and camera is tools for artists. It's, you know, like fighting with camera and shooting.
So before this film, have your other films been censored or banned?
Yes. The other film of mine was banned was The Peddler, my fifth film.
The Peddler.
The Peddler. It's
Yeah.
3 episodic film about a game. It's philosophical film, but the concept related to the society as well. Also, one of other my film called The Cyclist. It was not banned, but they didn't let me to make my film inside of Iran because of poverty in the film. They told go out and make it because we don't have this poverty inside of Iran. So I made this film in Pakistan somehow. And beside of this film, there is another film which I made in Turkey in the same year called Time of Love. That film also was banned till now. Again, we stolen that film, but sooner we shown in Cannes Film Festival. In the year that I shown the Salam Cinema, I had 2 films.
1995.
Yeah, in Cannes, but one of them was related to 5 years before. And also my novel, The Glass Garden.
Mhm.
Yeah, always we had, but sometimes less, sometimes more, sometimes cut out a part, sometimes completely.
So let's talk about the materials in the film, because we know that there are over half an hour of film that is already been cut out. And can you tell us what was in those footage that is so so important to be cut out by the censorship?
Yeah, for example, there is a scene that people in the time of revolution attacked to the cinema and burn the image in cinema. Also, the fundamental people who attack to the female image on the wall and or put the dark color on them. Or there is a scene that police and secret police attack to the people's house to arrest young people or questioning young lover in the street, arrest them. Or there are a lot of dialogue about, you will see a part of that. There is a mother who has 2 children, one of them died for revolution, one of them were being killed by revolution. And she doesn't know which one is correct, which one is wrong, where is their graveyard. It is more dialogue on that sense that they cut out. Or there is a lady whose husband died in revolution. She get married with brother of her husband. Now she understands that both of them are alive. They cut out a part of dialogue because those dialogue criticize condition of people who lost many things in war. You know, we have 7 years of war between Iran and Iraq. Somehow 100,000 of Iranian people died and 100,000 of Iraq people died. Actually, we killed each other. We have the same religion. Our power killed us for their power. Now they are friends of each other. Iran and Iraq, now they are friends. But before they killed 200,000 and more than 1 million people lost their leg, their hand. And no one were talking about those tragedies. I start to put light how much people lost in their private life. And for what? For which reason? Why we should kill each other for no reason? So the Iranian government didn't want to let you talk about those tragedies because they need propaganda to send people to kill each other for their power. So they reject this film. Not only this film, many others. But this film is lucky because finally it come out.
In the film, there's a part that talks about the monarchy versus democracy, and in the film, the character says that it's the people who made the monarchy possible, and not the other way around. Do you believe that, and do you still believe that now?
Yeah, I still believe that because I was 17 years old when I was being arrested. I was in political prison, almost 5 years. When I was in political prison, I understood that many of us, even though we are political prisoners, we have dictatorship in our brain. Somehow we are waiting for our time. I ask myself why we fight with dictatorship, but somehow we have dictatorship in our brain because of the culture. And then when happened revolution, we saw those people that they were in political prison came out, a part become opposition, a part become power. They start to fight with each other for the power. In our home, somehow before revolution, father was dictator of our home. So father could control family, and the king was shadow of all father. It was, the culture related to the politics. That's why after revolution I left politics and I thought we should change culture. Because whenever you see dictatorship, ask what is the culture. For example, look at to USA. USA is democratic country. But when culture goes down, people vote for Trump. It is really a real thing. For example, Russia. Russia had big revolution after Gorbachev. They divided to many different countries because of freedom. But because culture goes down, over and over they select Putin, or his friend. This time me, this time my friend. This time me, this time my friend. I was head of jury in Moscow Film Festival. People were talking easily about power. 3 years later, I was there as a head of jury in other festival. They were talking like this. I asked what happened during 3 years. A scale come up. Culture went down. So, what is the role of culture to change people's brain? If we could change people's brain, okay, they vote better. If they have chance to vote. some country doesn't have chance to vote. For example, in my country, supreme leader has pre-select few people, then people vote for pre-select one. So it is half democracy. Not, I don't want to say it's not democracy, it's half, but not 50-50, sometimes 20-80, sometimes less or more.
There is also a theme in the film about suicide. Many people, we can see many people in the film wanted to commit suicide, and it's like they're out of, some of them are out of desperation, and some of them are over some trivial things that they encounter. And why do you include this suicide theme in the film?
It's metaphor, you know, sort of metaphor for the revolution we have done. We killed our hope. We start with hope for democracy, then we understood that we killed our hope. And also it is real. I have seen with my eyes many people were commit suicide in hospital. And I searched a lot, what was the reason? Before revolution, a lot of suicides were related to melodrama story. For example, the wife has boyfriend or